Proxies are trending again. Everyone's using them to stream, scrape, spoof locations, you name it. But just because they're popular doesn't mean they're doing a good job. I remember how proxies used to be a big deal about a decade ago. They were the go-to tool for anyone who wanted to hide their IP or bypass a restriction. But then VPNs showed up and got faster, stronger, and basically just took over. But here's the twist. Some proxies have quietly evolved too. Hey everybody, and welcome back to vpnMentor. Let's find out which proxies still matter today, and if you're into cybersecurity topics, then be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you don't miss any of our future uploads. Now, you might be wondering at this point, do people even use proxies anymore? I mean, after all, VPNs pretty much took over the privacy game years ago, but proxies didn't exactly disappear. They just evolved quietly in the background. And these days, they're faster, more specialized, and way more reliable than the old browser-based stuff from 2010. Marketers use them for ad verification, researchers use them for scraping, and yes, plenty of people still use them to access region-locked content. And because modern proxies now use better IP rotation, residential addresses, and smarter routing, they're actually relevant again. They're certainly not replacing VPNs anytime soon, but if you pick the right one, they can be incredibly useful for specific things like streaming, automation, or testing websites from different locations. So let's break down the ones that are actually worth your time this year. Starting with one that sounds exactly like what it does, Smart DNS Proxy has been around for years, and what makes it interesting is that it combines two tools into one. You get a Smart DNS service for streaming and a VPN option for extra security. The Smart DNS part is what people came for though. It's built purely for speed. Instead of encrypting your connection, it just reroutes your DNS requests, which tricks streaming sites into thinking you're in another region. So you can unlock platforms like Hulu, BBC iPlayer, and HBO Max almost instantly. But since there's no encryption going on here, your connection stays fast, but not private. And that is admittedly a pretty hefty trade-off. If you're trying to stay anonymous or protect your traffic, then this is not gonna cut it. It's meant for easy access, not hardcore security. But the good news is that DNS Proxy does have a VPN mode that you can switch to if you want encryption as well. It's not as seamless as using a dedicated VPN app, but it does get the job done if you want both streaming and privacy options under one account. So if your main goal is streaming shows from around the world, then Smart DNS Proxy works fantastically. But if you care about privacy or want something that handles everything automatically, a proper VPN like ExpressVPN still wins that round. Next up is PrivateProxy. This one's a bit of a hidden gem and mostly used by people who need a lot of IPs for very specific tasks. PrivateProxy has been around for over a decade and focuses on performance and reliability rather than flashy apps or design. You can choose from dedicated, semi-dedicated, residential, or rotating proxies depending on what you're doing. So if you're a marketer, a developer, or a researcher, PrivateProxy is a great choice. Its dedicated and residential proxies are great for things like managing multiple social accounts, web scraping, or testing websites from different locations. The speeds are stable and the IPs tend to hold up well without being blacklisted quickly. But if you're just trying to stream Netflix or browse privately, then it isn't really built for that. PrivateProxy doesn't have apps or one-click setups. You'll need to manually configure your proxy credentials, and there's no encryption layer like you'd get with a VPN. So think of it like a work tool rather than an everyday privacy solution. For automation, research, or scaling online tasks, it's one of the more reliable services out there. But for simple private streaming and browsing, well, you'll save a lot of time by, again, just using a VPN instead. Now let's talk about Smartproxy, which recently rebranded to Decodo. If you spent any time in proxy forums or automation communities, then you've definitely heard of it. This one's built for scale. We're talking over 100 million IPs across almost every country, covering residential, data centers, ISP, and even mobile proxies. That means you can appear to be browsing from pretty much anywhere, and that's a huge advantage for tasks like verification, SEO tracking, or market research. Smartproxy's biggest strength is how clean and reliable its IP tool is. You can rotate through new IPs automatically or stick to one for consistency depending on what you need. And it comes with smart tools like a site unblocker that handles CAPTCHAs and IP bans for you, which saves a lot of headaches if you do data-heavy work. But this is not a plug-and-play solution for casual users. You'll need to set it up manually, and there's no full device protection like a VPN offers. Simply put, Smartproxy is for power users who know exactly what they're doing and want flexibility at scale. So if you're in that group, it's one of the best proxy providers out there right now. If you want to stream, browse, or stay private online, then you'll find the setup to be overkill, and a VPN still gives you that coverage in just one click. Next up, we have Proxy Hub, a name that sounds like it should be good value, and technically it is. Proxy Hub focuses on affordable private proxies with unlimited bandwidth. You can choose between dedicated IPs or semi-dedicated ones shared with a few other users. Plans start cheap, and on paper, it looks like a great entry point if you're just getting into proxies. But here's where things get a little tricky. In testing, the speeds were painfully slow, even in nearby servers. Yes, it can unblock a few streaming sites, but don't expect smooth HD playback or fast downloads. And while they call their proxies high anonymous, the privacy side is questionable at best. Their logging policy isn't transparent, support is sluggish, and the website itself raised some red flags during reviews. If a privacy tool's own site gives off malware warnings, then that's not exactly confidence inspiring. So sure, Proxy Hub is cheap and might work for very light, low-stake use, but not much beyond that. If you actually care about security, speed, and reliability, then this isn't where you should cut corners. Why VPNs are still the real deal. Okay, so I agree, proxies are useful, but they only cover part of the picture. They change your IP, sure, but they don't encrypt your data, and they don't protect you on public Wi-Fi, and they don't hide your activity from your ISP. A VPN does all of that and more. It reroutes your entire internet connection through an encrypted tunnel, which means no one, not even your ISP, not your school network, not even a snooping hacker, can see what you're doing online. You get speed, security, and privacy all in one shot, and that's why for most people, a VPN is still the smarter choice. You don't have to mess with individual proxy settings or worry about which apps are protected. It just works across your whole device. And when it comes to reliability, ExpressVPN is one of the few that still gets the balance right. It's fast, consistent, and keeps things private without making you dig through settings. So if you want to see exactly how it performs and what makes it so consistent, then check out our full ExpressVPN review where we tested everything from speed to security, and the results were interesting to say the least. So yeah, proxies are still hanging in there. Some have genuinely improved. Others should stay buried with Internet Explorer. They're great for specific things, but if you're looking for full privacy and security, you already know where that road leads. If you want to understand exactly why VPNs still win that fight, then go watch our Proxy versus VPN video. It breaks it all down without the jargon, making the whole privacy game a lot clearer. Thank you so much for watching vpnMentor, and if you found this video to be useful, be sure to hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you learn about our future uploads. Trust me, we have got plenty of hands-on privacy and security videos coming your way, so we'll catch you in the next one.